What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, well, it's another Tuesday. It is another Tuesday. For the Americans out there, hopefully you all had a fantastic 3-day weekend. For everybody else, happy Tuesday and welcome to another edition of Quita in the Mornings. Today I have an awesome update episode for you. In this episode, we are going to talk about everything you all may have missed at the start of the WNBA season. I'm going to go through team by team what's going on. All right, we are now several games into the WNBA season, so we can take a look at each team and see where they are and get you all's thoughts about each of the 13 teams so far. We also have a UConn specific section of the episode. Paige Beckers is making her return back to Connecticut, not Stores, but close enough, to her second home, as she calls it. And we're going to talk about that and what that means and how either Dallas or Connecticut will get their first win of the year today. Guys, we're also going to talk about Kaylee Heckel as well and her decision to go to UConn. And we're also going to take a look at the league-wide injury report and what is happening with these teams, because there's a lot of players who are injured. So we got a lot to go through. So let's get started. Again, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. If y'all could, as y'all are hopping into the chat, please hit that like button. And for those who are watching on the replay, shout out to the replay squad. Y'all are awesome. But for those people, I will try my best to put a link to, or put chapters so you all can kind of skip over to whatever you are most interested in. Okay, so let's talk through the WNBA season so far. So we are about 2 weeks into the WNBA season for 2025, and we've already seen a lot. We've seen some blowouts. We've seen some buzzer beaters. We've seen some breakout rookie performances, and let's be real, guys. A few teams, hey, they already need to hit the reset button 2 weeks into the season. So let's talk about what's happening with the 13 squads. Who's hot? Who's not, who's hurt, and who is hanging on by a thread. Let's get to it team by team. All right. We first want to start with the undefeated teams. We're going to go in order of talent level or wins and losses for these various teams. First up, let's talk through the Minnesota Lynx, who I am calling the Quiet Killers. Guys, the Minnesota Lynx, they're continuing to be amazing. This team is on a revenge tour, kind of, from last year. If you know, you know. The Lynx are undefeated right now, and they've absolutely earned it, right? Their star, Napheesa Collier, is in MVP form. She's averaging 29.5 points a game, 7.3 assists a game, and 6.3 rebounds a game. Also, not only is she knocking down a whole bunch of buckets, not only is she scoring a lot of points, she is doing it efficiently, shooting 56% from the field. Also, it helps that the Minnesota Lynx has one of the best defenses in the WNBA, just allowing just 77.5 points a game. And, this team is a very, very unselfish team. They love to pass the ball around, leading the league in assists with 25.5 assists per game. Here's the deal. This team is rocking and rolling. They're looking very, very good because they have a lot of players who do their job well. Players like a Jessica Shepard, who is having a fantastic season after being away from the league last year. To Courtney Williams, who even when she has a terrible game, who do they look to on the bench? They look to Napheesa Heidemann. This team has players who can just fill in the gap where needed. Also, a thing to remember, a thing to keep in mind, guys, is that this team is doing what they're doing without Kayla McBride, who should be back this week. She should be back playing this week. But this team is deep. This team is connected. This team is composed. And they're just putting up some fan-freaking-tastic basketball, okay? I'm just saying, it's very, very, very fun to see. this Minnesota Lynx team play because they're rocking and rolling and they're clicking on all cylinders. And guys, remember, this is just the start, okay? This is just the start for this squad. All right, let's continue on because the Minnesota Lynx is not the only team that is undefeated. We also have the New York Liberty, who I am saying is on a repeat tour, maybe, question mark. because the Minnesota Lynx, while they're off to a really good season this year, the New York Liberty are dominating. They are leading the league in point differential largely because of that game against the Sky. This team is first in the league in field goal percentage per game, shooting around 49% from the field, which is super, super, super efficient. This team is first in three-point baskets made per game, making around 10 shots a game. The thing about, also a thing to note, is they're first in blocks per game with around 7 a game. But the thing that is most impactful for this New York Liberty team is how they got better at the point guard position. And I'm talking none other than Natasha Cloud. Guys, Natasha Cloud, it seems like ever since she stepped foot in New York, this girl has had a permanent smile on her face. And what's there not to be happy about? She has been proven to be a huge pickup for this New York Liberty team. She's averaging 18.7 points a game, 7.7 assists per game, 2.7 steals a game, shooting 55% from the field. Tosh Cloud is offensively doing her big one, and defensively, she is shutting down players. She is off to a fantastic year. I would dare say the best year of her career this year with the New York Liberty. We'll see how it continues, but a fantastic start for Natasha Cloud. We also have Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, and Jonquel Jones all having great starts to their season as well, which is pretty much expected. No real surprise there. But the thing that was not expected, and the thing I want to call out, is the play so far by Kennedy Burke. Kennedy Burke, to start off the season, is on fire, guys. Kennedy Burke is playing a lot of minutes this year, and it's for good reason, because she is knocking down shots. Guys, fun stat. Did you know Kennedy Burke is shooting 70% from the three? 70% from the three. I'm just saying. And she is adding in around 11.3 points a game for the Liberty. Of course, that 70% mark is not going to last as the season goes on, but Kennedy Burke is off to a fantastic start. I love watching her play, and she's one of those players that, people may not know her name, but I'm telling you, she's putting in that work, okay? She is putting in that work. All right, let's continue on. Again, we're going through every single team in the W just to kind of let you all know what in the world is going on with them. And next up, we have the Phoenix Mercury, who just have a lot of new faces, right? The Phoenix Mercury are 3-1 into the WNBA season so far. So 3 wins, 1 loss. This team is very, very gritty, and this team is doing kind of what I expected. You got Alyssa Thomas, who's stuffing the stat sheet, kind of doing what she normally does in terms of points, assists, rebounds, and just defensively doing her thing. You got Satu Sabali, who is providing a huge void for this Phoenix Mercury team in terms of her ability to kind of be versatile and do a little bit of everything. And the thing to note about this Phoenix Mercury team is not only do you have an offensive weapon like Satu Sabali, you also have elite defense. All right, this team is number 1 in the league in defensive rating at 89.3, right? So not only are you scoring points, you are also making sure that you are just sort of leaving your mark in terms of defense, because defense can and will win championships. That's something to note. And so I had to talk about that because, we talk about offense a lot. Offense is crazy, crazy, crazy important. Absolutely. Absolutely, offense is important, but I also think it's pretty cool the fact that this team is leading the W in defense as well. Satu Sabli adding around 19.8 points a game. Alyssa Thomas, 16.5 points a game. But the thing I want to take note is there is a rookie. Well, actually, they have a couple of rookies on this team, but there's a rookie. Her name is Monique Okoa Makani. This girl is really promising. I really like her. She is hitting around 2 threes per game in the 4 games so far, and she's shooting around 50% from the field. I like Monique Okoa Makani. I think she's bringing some great energy. And also, she's a player that truly I'd never heard of until this season started. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, okay, she can shoot. Okay, she can make an impact. She's averaging around 10 points a game. Again, of course, not the star of the team. However, this team has primarily, in terms of the names that we really know, they got Satu and they have Alyssa Thomas. So there's a lot of players on this team that people weren't really aware of before this season started, and I'm enjoying how some of these players are stepping up. Another player who I see is stepping up is Catherine Westbeld as well. Catherine Westbeld, that last name may sound familiar because her sister plays for the Chicago Sky, Maddie Westbeld. But Catherine Westbeld is a player that I wasn't very familiar with that much, but I think that she's also starting off with a really good season so far. She's averaging around 6 points a game. Again, not the most, but when she comes in the game, she is pretty impactful. Of course, you got Sammy Wickham, who's putting in some good minutes as well. Kalani Brown, I think, has found her new place to be, and I actually like the way that Kalani Brown is working with this Phoenix Mercury team. So I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good for this Phoenix Mercury squad. And the thing to note about Phoenix is that they are doing what they are doing without their best player in Collier Copper. So the fact that Collier Copper has been out for the start of the season, the fact that she's going to be out for the next couple of weeks, I think it's awesome to see this team doing what they're doing. And can you imagine what happens when Collier Copper comes back? Okay. All right. I'm just saying. LL Kune says Kalani Brown looks better in Phoenix for sure. Yeah. Because again, Kalani Brown, she's not a starter, right? No one's asking her to play a ton of minutes per game, but the minutes that she's playing, I think she's making an impact on the team, which is all you can really want from a player like a Kalani Brown. Twinkie, thank you so much for the super chat. Salute to you. Thank you. Says, good morning, Quita. Love your content. Can I have the deets on your shirt? Yeah, sure. This is a Samson shirt. This is sort of like in video game style. Like imagine like the really, really old school video games, and like it's very, very, very pixelated. That's like the style of the shirt. It's like pick your player 1 or player 2. But it's from Faithlets. It's a clothing brand online. I have a lot of their clothes. I need to reach out to them and ask if they could sponsor the channel, because I buy a lot of their shirts. Because I think it's fun. I think it's a fun shirt. But yeah, that's the shirt. Thanks for the super chat, and thanks for the question. All right. Yes, 8-bit. Yes. Correct. All right. So, again, this team, the Phoenix Mercury, they're without both Collier Copper and Natasha Mack. This team is looking pretty dangerous right now, and I can't imagine once Collier Copper comes back fully healthy. It should be fun to see. Okay. All right. We are going down the list. And next up, let's talk about the Seattle Storm. And my question for the Seattle Storm is, they're back? Question mark? the Seattle Storm has had a couple of runs where they have been amazing. And it seems like maybe this is the season for the Seattle Storm. We have this Storm team looking really good. First up, I got to talk about Madam President. Madam President, a.k.a. Nneka Ogwumike, who is off to a monster start. Guys, Nneka is averaging 20.5 points a game, 10.3 rebounds a game. She's shooting 59% from the field. Y'all, Nneka is on her big one this year. The Storm are top 5 in both offense and defense. And defensively, they're doing a thing, forcing around 8.3 steals per game. Y'all, not only is Nneka playing at the top of her game, we also have Skylar Diggins, who is looking fan-freaking-tastic as well. She is continuing on from what we saw of her in Unrivaled. She is averaging 19 points a game, 8.8 assists per game as well. Y'all, Skylar and Nneka, they looking great. And there was some question marks of like, truly, how good is this Seattle Storm going to be? Is it going to be like last year where like there was a lot of hope and like thoughts about how good they were going to be, and then they just kind of didn't live up to the hype? Like, what was this team really going to look like? And I'm going to tell you, from the start of it, again, we're only a couple of games and we're only 4 games in. However, they're looking pretty good. Not only is Nneka and Skylar doing their thing, but they also have Gabby Williams, who's going to be here for the full season. She's doing pretty good, averaging around 10 points a game. But the person I want to talk about, all right, the person I want to talk about with this Seattle Storm team is Erica Wheeler. Because Erica Wheeler is making her stamp on her new squad, guys. Just on Sunday against the Aces, y'all, Erica Wheeler dropped 21 points, 7 assists. Guys, she dominated in that game. And on the season so far, she's averaging 9 points a game. So shout out to Erica Wheeler. You doing your thing. And sometimes, guys, change is really, really, really good for us. Seems like she is enjoying her time in Seattle. And you can tell by the points that she and the impact that she is like having a good time in Seattle. Again, change is good. Nothing wrong with a little bit of change here and there. All right, next up, let's talk about the Golden State Valkyries, the expansion team. And the thing I have to say about this team is potential. 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 All right. Because this expansion squad has no sort of like traditional draft rookies, but this team is sitting at 2-1. The reason why is because their defense is pretty solid. Their defense is pretty solid. They're also leading the league in steals per game, which is kind of fun. 10.3 steals per game. One not so good stat that they have that I have to talk about. So while there are a lot of cool things happening with the Golden State Valkyries, there is one really bad stat that I have to talk about. I have to acknowledge it. But I do think that hopefully they'll be able to right the ship as the season goes on. Guys, this team, the Golden State Valkyries, lead the league in 3-point attempts per game. They lead the league in 3-point attempts per game with 33 3-point attempts per game. 33 times this team shoots it from the 3 each game. Now, if you're making those 3-point shots, it's not a big deal, right? But if you're taking 33 3-pointers a game and you're only making 8 3-pointers a game, that's a little bit of an issue. That's a little bit of an issue. So I had to mention that. I do think that their strategy seems to be let it fly and it'll work itself out. That seems to be the strategy for this team, and we'll see ultimately if those threes kind of work itself out. But this team overall has a whole lot of heart, guys. We have some WNBA newcomers in Janelle Salon and Carla Late, who are off to a fan-freaking-tastic start, guys. These are 2 players, again, with the Golden State Valkyries, a lot of European players, and those two in particular, they are doing their big one, off to really good starts. We also have Kayla Thornton and Veronica Burton sort of bringing that WNBA leadership to this team. They're very experienced players. We also have Tiffany Hayes as well, who's very experienced, though she is, I think she's listed as day-to-day right now, so that's something to note. But this team has a really good mix of international and like traditional WNBA players. And I have to say, I was wrong about the Golden State Valkyries. I didn't think this team was going to be that great to start the year. However, they're off to a really good start, and I think they're a fun team to watch. And you better watch out for the Golden State Valkyries, because they have a chance. Like, this is a team that's not gonna get blown out very often. I think they're gonna hang in there, and they're gonna do a series of threes, to getting in the paint and scoring, to getting mid-range jumpers. They can do a little bit of everything, and I think they're a fun team to watch. So watch out for the Golden State Valkyries, and they got a lot of potential. A lot of potential. Okay? Next up, let's talk through the Atlanta Dream. Oh, actually, real quick, a thing to note is about the Golden State Valkyries is that Tiffany Hayes is currently out, injured. She's listed as day by day. Also, Monique Billings is listed as day by day as well, and Cecilia Zandalicini is just listed as out. So a couple of injuries, but hopefully they get it together. All right, next up, we have the Atlanta Dream. So the Atlanta Dream, this is a team that is not at full strength yet, but they are hanging in there pretty well. Despite dealing with a bunch of injuries and players being down, like Brittany Griner and Tina Pow and Jordan, and especially Jordan Canada, this team is at 3-2, which again, not bad at all. According to there's some good news, I would say. According to a AP injury report that I saw this morning, it didn't have Tina Pow or Brittany Griner on the injury list, and so that's something to note. It seems like we may see Tina Pow play today. Remember, she got hit in the face and was dealing with a face injury. She did not play, or was not even with the team in the last game for the Atlanta Dream. And then Brittany Griner has been dealing with some knee issues, so she was out as well. But according to this AP report that I ended up seeing earlier today, it does not have Brittany or Jordan Canada, or Brittany or Tina Pow on the injured list. So right now it just has Jordan Canada out, but we'll see if that changes as the day goes by. But as of right now, it looks like a thing. That's possibly good news. All right. Also, guys, I just want to take a quick break to just say, hey, if you all could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, that really does help the channel out a lot. I make content all about women's basketball, so if that is your thing, and make sure to subscribe and rock out with the awesome people of the internet. We have a good time talking about women's hoops every single day. So if that is your thing, make sure to hang out with the squad and just hang out. Let's talk about women's sports together. Okay, hit that like button. Y'all are in the chat. Y'all in the chat for a reason, so make sure to hit that like button. Again, really does help. And also, if you're watching this on replay, hit that like button as well. All right. For the Atlanta Dream, the thing I love about this team is that we see Alicia Gray off to a fan-freaking-tastic start this season. She's averaging 19.4 points a game, leading the team. Also in assists per game, which sure is good for Alicia Gray, but not good for the entire team because, again, your actual point guard is out. Alicia Gray is averaging around 4.8 assists per game, which is pretty good. Ryan Howard is struggling from the field. She's only shooting 29% from the field because she's trying to do a lot of three-pointers, right? You see the majority of her attempts in a game is from the three-point line, and overall she is struggling. She's only shooting 29% overall, but she is putting down 15 points a game, so that's something She's not doing it. She's not doing it efficiently, but she is scoring points. So I guess that's cool. Eventually, she really does have to increase that efficiency. But I do think that when Jordan Canada gets back on this dream team, I think this offense will start to really get going. And we should see a whole lot more production, and I would say a lot more efficiency from just about everybody, because Jordan Canada really is the real point guard for this squad. Now, in terms of defense, defense is overall pretty solid. Their offense is pretty streaky, but once they're healthy, I think this is a team that you want to watch out for. I think this team you definitely want to watch out for. Thank you so much, Eddie, for the super chat. Says better try a 3-point. He says better to try a 3-pointer than a turnover. Thinking it depends. It depends on how bad you miss. If you miss a 3-point shot and it's a long rebound, and the opposing guard gets it and starts running, then that's basically a turnover. It depends on what the miss on the 3-point miss. If you miss and the ball goes out of bounds, it's a dead ball. It's fine. But if you miss and you give the opponent an easy opportunity to go down the other way and score, then no. So it depends. It really does depend. All right, let's continue on. And this time, let's talk about the Indiana Fever. So the Indiana Fever are 2-2 on the season. And the thing to note, Caitlin Clark was averaging around 19 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. However, she has gone down with a quad strain. She will be out for the next 2 weeks. So that's something to note for this team. But this team has a lot of really good players, including Aaliyah Boston, Aaliyah Boston is having herself a year. I've really been enjoying watching Aaliyah play. I mean, she's been good, I would say, the last 2 seasons as well, but it feels like this her 3rd season in the league, she's really, really getting into her own. 18.5 points a game, 10.8 rebounds a game. She's holding it down, and she's playing unafraid, and she's playing physical, and she's playing the basketball that her team needs her to play. Okay. The Indiana Fever have the 2nd best point differential in the league. They are crashing the boards hard. I believe they're top 2 in rebounds as well. This team is a very, very competitive team. Of course, you bring in a whole bunch of new players, and they're looking pretty good. But the question mark is, how do they look in the next 2 weeks? That's the big question for the Indiana Fever. All right, next up. Again, guys, we're just scratching the surface about all these teams. I wanted to do a video where I went through every single team, but because of time, of course, I can't talk about each team for a whole bunch of time. So, I'm gonna go through them all, just so if you all maybe just watch one team, this way you all can get a real good sense of like who in the world are on these other teams, like what are these other teams doing, and blah 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 blah. Anyway. All right, next up, let's talk about the Las Vegas Aces. The 2-time champs kind of look different. They look off, I should say. A'ja Wilson is, of course, A'ja Wilson. She's putting up big numbers, 20 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, 2.3 blocks a game. Like, she's doing her thing. But this team is dealing with, people out, right? Megan Gustafson's out. Cheyenne Parker-Tyus is out until August because, remember, she is pregnant. They do have Jewel Lloyd, who is with the squad, and she has shown up, including winning, including with the game-winning 3-point basket. However, overall, I would say, this team isn't performing the way some of us as longtime WNBA fans remember the Las Vegas Aces doing. Like, they're just not as overall efficient. They're just not as good this year. Like, this is not the same Las Vegas Aces team. Like, this is just not. They're just not, right? The fact that you have A'ja Wilson leading in every single category for this team is a problem. A'ja is leading in points, in rebounds, in assists, in steals, in blocks, and sure, that's great for A'ja Wilson. That is horrible for this team, because this means that what is everybody else doing? Chelsea Gray is off to a not so great start, I mean, in terms of points, yeah, sure, she's averaging around 12 points a game, and that's pretty decent. But the thing that's the issue is the assist numbers. Chelsea Gray is one of the best point guards in the league, and she's only averaging 3.3 assists a game, right? We have Jackie Young, who, yeah, sure, is absolutely scoring, but they need more from her. And we got Jewel Lloyd, who basically they traded away for Kelsey Plum, or traded Kelsey Plum for, and we see Kelsey Plum putting up averaging 20 plus points in LA, and Jewel Lloyd is only averaging 12. So like, while the Masked Mamba has had some good moments this season, overall this hasn't been that great for the Las Vegas Aces. This is not the same team, and guys, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if they keep losing losing games, because like, yeah, again, this is not the same team. I think Kelsey Plum was a bigger piece than people realize. I don't think people gave Kelsey Plum her due respect as much as they probably should have. And now you look at this team and you're like, ooh, that is it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough for the Las Vegas Aces. Okay. All right, now let's look at the LA Sparks. Because I was just talking about the Las Vegas Aces, and talking about how the Las Vegas Aces is not the 2023 version of themselves, right? And how they're in the middle of the pack in both offensive and defensive rating and whatnot. You know, that Las Vegas Aces team, they're still kind of dangerous, but they're not scary, I would say. But the Los Angeles Sparks, y'all, I put shoot it for a reason. This team is a team that is it's a team that's looking pretty good, right? This team that is in a way running on fumes in terms of the injuries, but they're still fighting. They are still fighting, and they're still putting up really, really good numbers. Y'all, the LA Sparks have been without Cameron Brink, without Julie Allemand, without Ray Burrell, without Rakia Jackson at times. And yet, they are still pulling out wins. Kelsey Plum, I kind of talked about her earlier, but Kelsey Plum has been bringing the firepower in LA. She's letting everybody know that I am about that life. I can carry a team. And she's doing just that, 24.8 points a game. She is spacing the floor really well. She's shooting the ball well. And she just looks so confident, guys. She looks very, very confident out on the floor, and it truly is fun to see. This LA Sparks team is pretty scrappy, right? They're pretty scrappy. Not the best defensive team, but they are a team that can score a lot of points and have a lot of players make an impact. Not only is Kelsey Plum having a great year, but Azurá Stevens, y'all, is having a fantastic year as well. She's another player who just doesn't get the attention and respect that she deserves. But Azurá Stevens, 17 points a game, 9 rebounds a game. She is absolutely on her big one this year in her 7th year in the WNBA. Azurá Stevens is just making LA her home, and she's off to her best career year yet. She's never averaged more than 12 points a game in her career. 17 points a game for Z. Oh, I absolutely love to see. And the thing that makes it more sweeter about Azurá is not only is she scoring more points than she ever has, she's also shooting more efficiently than she ever had from both the from just the field and from the 3-point line. Overall, Azurá is shooting 47% from the 3 and 60% overall. I tell you, if that continues, then dog. It's gonna be a pretty good year for the LA Sparks once they get fully healthy. All right. And again, all of these teams, I could literally do a whole hour show on just these teams, but I can't. So I'm gonna call out a couple people here and there, but yeah, Kelsey Plum, Azurá Stevens are off to a good year. Of course, De'Ara Hamby is being De'Ara Hamby. Of course, we all know that De'Ara Hamby is probably the sort of player who kind of holds it all together for this team. And she's, of course, doing her thing, averaging around 16 points a game and around 7 rebounds a game as well. So, like, of course, Hamby gonna do Hamby. But I think the more notable thing for the LA Sparks truly is Azurá Stevens and what she's been doing, the jump, the offensive jump that she has made this year, and also what Kelsey Plum is doing as well. Okay? All right. Again, let's continue on. We got a lot of people to get to, including the young and fun Washington Mystics. I have to put this here because I think I'm a fan of this Washington Mystics team. I truly am. This team has lost a couple of close games, but they look very, very, very promising. Of course, they're dealing with some injuries right now. Shakira Austin is day-to-day. Aaliyah Edwards is back now, which is cool. And this team, while they've lost some games, I think they're really fun. They're really fun because they have rookies like Kiki Ira-Affin and Sonia Citron who have basically put this team on their backs. Here's the deal, guys. When we were thinking about, rookies of the year, and we were thinking about how this rookie class was going to be, this rookie class, in my opinion, is better than I thought. All right? This is better than I thought. The reason why is because Sonia Citron is having herself a year. She's leading all rookies in a lot of stats, okay? All right, she's leading all rookies in points, in 3-point field goal percentage, in assists. Wait, actually, no. Paige Beckers is leading in assists, but basically, in a lot of the metrics that matter, we have Sonia Citron doing her thing. She's averaging 15.4 points a game with her squad, shooting 53% from the field. Y'all, I'm just saying. When we see Sonia Citron, she's like, I'm not afraid. They're young and unafraid. She's like, hey, I know I can shoot some threes. Watch me knock down some threes. Shooting 47% from the three. Watch me knock down some threes. Watch me score. Watch me do all the things that WNBA commentators and whatnot said I was not going to be able to do. Because it was all this talk about, the rookie of the year, of course, is Paige Beckers and blah, 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 blah. And Sonia is like, nah, y'all forgot about me. Y'all slept on me. Yes, I didn't score a ton of points on Notre Dame, but that was because I was like the third option in a lot of areas. Sonia Citron is a bona fide leader for this team as a rookie, which is wild to say. And then you look at her teammate who is like, girl, you doing your thing, I'm gonna do my thing too. Kiki Ira-Affin is rocking out, guys. She is averaging 13.8 points a game. And the thing I love about Kiki Ira-Affin and watching these games so far is her fearlessness, guys. Here's the deal. I don't know if you all totally understand this, but to me, I give a lot more credit to post players who are rookies, who are doing stuff, than I do to everybody else. Now, of course, everybody else is doing their thing, and everybody else deserves the celebration and all that stuff. But to me, I think it is way more impactful for a rookie post player to be doing something than a just sort of rookie guard. And the reason why I say that is because the WNBA is a post league in a lot of ways. And you look at some of the post players that Kiki Ira-Affin has gone up against. All right, let's just go down the line to just truly hone in on why what she's doing is so special. Guys, she has gone up against Bree Jones, Alyssa Thomas, Asia Wilson, Tina Charles, Brittany Griner, and she hasn't flinched. She has not flinched, guys. She is unafraid, and I love it. And the fact that she has had 4 straight games of double doubles. They played 5 games so far. For the Washington Mystics, and in 4 of those games, Kiki Iriafen has had a double double. I think she's very, very fun. So both Sony and Kiki are doing their thing. They have brought a sense of energy, a sense of confidence, and a scoring punch to this young Washington Mystics squad. And overall, this team is getting healthy. I think this team is fun. And even though they're going to lose some games, I think this is a team that you absolutely, positively need to keep on your radar. Okay? Okay. All right, continuing on. Let's take a look at the Chicago Sky. Well, this is a team that is down, and they're down bad. They are down bad. Okay? This team is, in some ways, a mess. They have the worst point differential in the league, and with a negative 24.3 because they've gotten blown out in just about every game they've played so far. This is a team that just looks bad, guys. They don't look good, right? Also not 0-4, they're 0-3. I'm sorry. That's a typo. Typo there. The Chicago Sky are 0-3. They do have a game later today, but they are 0-3 on the season. That is a typo. My apologies on that. But yeah, the squad is struggling, right? They have the worst point differential. They are one of the one of the worst free throw shooters in the league. This is a team that has allowed the most points off of their own turnovers. And they just don't have a go-to scorer. They don't. They don't have someone that they can just give the ball and just say, okay, get us a bucket. Get us a bucket. Everybody, like their offense is very stagnant. There's a whole bunch of stuff to say about the Chicago Sky. I've made other videos talking about the issues with the Chicago Sky. But yeah, anyway, that is to say the team has a lot to work on. And coaching and spacing are major issues for this team. Tisha says typo or prediction. Well, I would say prediction, probably. But yeah, it's they are 0-3 on the season. They have only played 3 games. They have not played 4 games. I mean, we'll see after tonight. What happens. But yeah, as of right now, they are 0-3. They do play the Phoenix Mercury tonight, so you know, that's not a. Joseph says typo is not wrong, so I would be 0-4 by the end of the day. I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. We'll see what happens, though. We will see what happens. All right, we got 2 more teams to go. All right, we have the Dallas Wings next. And the Dallas Wings, they're another team that are losing games. They have not won a game just yet. We'll kind of see. We kind of see how it goes. They do have a game later today against the Connecticut Sun, who are also 0-4 on the season. And so one of these teams got to win. One of these teams will end up with the dub at the end of the day, and so that's kind of cool. The Dallas Wings, they're underachieving across the board. This is a team that is like pretty bad in terms of their defensive rating at 105.5. They're in the bottom 3 in terms of field goal percentage. They're towards the bottom in rebounds, and they've given up a bunch of points in the paint. Here's the deal. This is a team that doesn't really have a center. Not really. The center was Tierra McCowan, but it seems like she's kind of lost that spot. And they're trying to make some stuff work with undersized centers like Maisha Hines-Allen and whatnot. But overall, this team is just, they're not looking good. They are not looking good at all. And we'll kind of see how the season continues to go. This is a team that is, they looked kind of promising, but But yeah, they don't look great. Thing to note, guys, is that it looks like Maisha Hines-Allen is listed as day-to-day, but we'll see what happens. This team is looking like they might be end up being a lottery team again. They're not looking good. The good news is that, Paige Beckers is continuing to pass the ball really well. She's averaging around 6 assists per game, towards the top of the league in that stat. But overall, she has the inefficiency bug of the rest of her team has bit her. This is someone who at Connecticut was very, very good and efficient from the field, and she kind of has lost that. However, a thing to note is that Dallas plays Connecticut tonight in Connecticut, and remember, Paige Beckers went to UConn, and Mohegan Sun Arena, where the Connecticut Sun play, is where the UConn Huskies have actually played a lot of their games at. And so it feels like a second home to her. And it's a question mark of number one, I think that arena is going to be packed. They're going to be sold out for that game. But the question is, does Paige Beckers kind of return back to her efficient self? Like, she's attempting a lot of shots per game, and she's not hitting them. And so we'll see what happens with that. But I do think that that Paige and Enrique, I don't think they're meshing together right now. I don't think they are. They're not. And again, I need to actually like compare the lineups and efficiency, but just from the eye test, it doesn't seem like those two are meshing the way that this team needs them to mesh. And so that's something to know. And hopefully they get it together. And again, they have a game tonight, and they are taking on the Connecticut Sun. Now, the Connecticut Sun is another team that is, not good, right? This team was, in a lot of ways, a title contender, 2 years ago? Last year ended up losing to the Minnesota Lynx in the playoffs, and then all of a sudden you lose your coach, you lose a lot of your players, and now all of a sudden you have two returners from last year in Olivia Nelson-Ododa, who is, by the way, having a really good year. Like, shout out to Olivia Nelson-Ododa. I think she is going to. I think she's definitely going to be in the conversation, possibly for most improved player. I do like what she's doing this year. I think she's definitely making her impact more. I mean, it also helps that she's starting and getting more minutes and whatnot, but I think she's making her impact for sure. But yeah, this team is struggling. They return Olivia, and they return Maria Mabry, who has been with the team for half a year last year. And they also add in Tina Charles, a player who started her career with Connecticut. She's returning back as her career kind of dwindles down. But even with Tina Charles being on the sort of the other side of her career curve, she is still rocking out. I mean, she's leading the team in points per game and rebounds per game with 14.5 points and 6.8 rebounds a game as well. This team, yes, they're a team with a identity that still hasn't been totally figured out. But they have a lot of promise. I, again, continue to enjoy the play of Sanaya Rivers. I think she is someone who has a lot of potential. Bria Hartley also was a late add in the preseason, and I think she's been bringing in some pretty good minutes. Of course, Maria Mabry is knocking down shots, so that's pretty normal. But this team is going to struggle. They're going to lose a lot of games, and we'll see how the season kind of continues with the Connecticut Sun. But again, either Connecticut or Dallas will get their first win of the season, which is pretty cool. So we went through the Connecticut Sun, wondering how they got here. We talked about the Dallas Wings and how their possible rebuild mode scenario is kind of slipping away. We talked about how the Chicago Sky are in trouble and they might be 0-4 by the end of today. We talked about the Washington Mystics and how this team is young and fun and have some great rookies, and also got a really awesome vet in Brittany Sykes. I forgot to mention her earlier, but yeah, she's also another person who is rocking and rolling with that team. We got the LA Sparks, who are shooting it and shooting it well with the new addition of Kelsey Plum and the reinvigorated offense of Azurá Stevens. We talked about the Las Vegas Aces and how they just look different. They look different. They're not the same team as they used to be, and the fact that A'ja Wilson is leading every single metric with the Las Vegas Aces, which is cool for her, terrible overall for the overall success of this team. We talked about the Indiana Fever and how they have an injury scare with Caitlin being out for 2 weeks, and we'll see what the rest of the team is going to do. But Aaliyah Boston has been stepping up and stepping out for this team this year, and we'll see if she is able to continue her fantastic season so far. We talked about the Atlanta Dream and how this team is like not at full strength yet. They've had a lot of injuries. However, they do have a lot of promise with the players on the court. Bree Jones is off to a pretty good season so far. We have Alicia Gray, who is scoring the bucket pretty efficiently. We have Ryan Howard, who, yes, is scoring, not efficiently. But the hope is that once they get Jordan Canada back, this team will be back in action. We talked about the Golden State Valkyries and how this team has a lot of potential. They have a really good mix of international players and more WNBA players that are making it work in Golden State. They've gotten some good wins so far, and we'll kind of see how the season continues for the Golden State Valkyries. We talked about the Seattle Storm and how this team may be back. They are rocking and rolling on the back of both Nneka and Skylar, and how Gabby Williams is doing her thing. And this team is looking, they're looking pretty good with the addition of Erica Wheeler to sort of bring that impact and energy off the bench. I think this team is looking pretty fun. But the question is, how far will they make it? We talked about the Phoenix Mercury and how this team is looking pretty good, right? With the new additions of both Satu Sabally and Alyssa Thomas. They do have Collier Copper, who is still out. We'll see how that continues to go when she does return. But as of right now, this Phoenix squad they're holding their own. They're absolutely holding their own so far. They're defensively coated, and when you're defensively coated and you have some offensive struggles, hey, you can wade through that water pretty well. We also talked about the New York Liberty and how they are one of 2 undefeated teams so far this year. They are running off the backs of their star players that we know of, right? Of course, Sabrina, Brianna, and Jonquel, they're absolutely doing their thing. However, they do add in the addition of Natasha Cloud, who is the point guard extraordinaire that she is. She's passing that basketball well. She's shooting the ball efficiently, and she's playing some fan-freaking-tastic defense. I mean, what more could you want in New York? And finally, the other undefeated team, we had the Minnesota Lynx, and the Minnesota Lynx are looking pretty good as well. They are rocking and rolling. I call them the quiet killers because they don't bring that much attention to themselves, but they are a fun squad who can just get wins. Defensively, they look good. Offensively, they look good. And they have players all over the place who can step up and make an impact. All right? So we've gone through every single WNBA team. What do y'all think? I'm curious to hear what you all have to say about your thoughts about these teams. What do y'all think? What teams are y'all very excited about? What teams are y'all not very excited about? What teams is disappointing to you? What teams are actually exceeding your expectations? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you all appreciated this sort of like quick-ish, I tried to be as quick as possible going through these teams. Let me know by hitting that like button. Also, just let me know your overall thoughts about this type of coverage. Are y'all interested in me doing this like at the start of every week? Just sort of like recapping and just talking through these teams. I'm curious. I'm curious. Also, do you think this is like a every 2 weeks or at the top of every month do this or whatever? Give me y'all opinions. Give me y'all opinions. Thank you so much, Fahia, for the super chat. Says, peace to the chat. Sanaya Rivers in the WNBA. That's what's up. Yeah, Sanaya Rivers doing her thing. I'm just saying. I think she's a very, very fun player. I think she is fun. Very, very fun. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah. We didn't talk about this, but I just want to briefly talk about it. I don't have slides for this. But this also may be a little bit too early, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. Let's talk real quick about who is shining right now for the MVP race. Like, of course, at the top of that list, in my opinion, we have I was about to say the Napheesa Collier. We have Napheesa Collier, who is, I would say, the clear front runner right now. Again, she's almost averaging 30 points a game, 7 assists per game, 6 rebounds a game. She's shooting it over 50% from the field. She is absolutely doing her thing. Clear front runner, in my opinion. And then we, of course, have A'ja Wilson, who is, putting up some big stats across the board. As I said earlier, leading her team in just about every stat. She is a elite two-way player. And just still trying to anchor her squad in Vegas and kind of do some stuff there. Now I have Napheesa significantly over A'ja right now. We'll kind of see how that continues on. I also have Nneka Ogwumike in the conversation. So when we're talking about MVP, we can't just talk about Collier. We can't just talk about A'ja. We got to talk about Nneka Ogwumike as well, because Nneka is on her big one this year. She's absolutely on her big one. This season in the WNBA, we have Nneka Ogwumike averaging 20 points a game. She's averaging a double-double with 10 rebounds a game. She's shooting it pretty efficiently, shooting around like 59% from the field. She is looking really, really, really good for her Seattle Storm squad. We also have Natasha Cloud. We have to talk about Natasha Cloud. Why? Because, as I said earlier, she is putting up crazy numbers, and in a lot of ways, y'all, she is criminally underrated. Because Natasha Cloud, she's giving you 18 points a game, leading her team, actually, in points per game. 7 assists per game. Around 3 steals per game. She is doing a little bit of everything. And the New York Liberty, they need every single thing she offers. And she does it with a smile. And we go from one player who smiles a lot to another player who smiles a lot, especially at the free throw line, and that is Kelsey Plum. Y'all, Kelsey Plum is on her big one again this year. She is, second in the league in points per game with 28.8 points a game. And the best part about her is she is doing it also very, very efficiently. 43% from the three-point line for a player like a Kelsey Plum. She is absolutely locked and loaded. And I cannot continue to go on without mentioning Satou Sabally. Now, Satou Sabally is sort of on the lower end of this list. However, I think she is someone who is on her big one this year for the oh my goodness, I'm blanking. For the Phoenix Mercury, and she's just putting up good numbers. But about 19 points a game, 40% from the field, and she's rocking and rolling with this Phoenix Mercury team. So that's sort of like my top-ish list of MVP front runners. We'll kind of see how everything else kind of fares from there. Other notable names is, of course, Skylar Diggins. You got Jonquel Jones. You got other players like that who are putting up some big numbers and making an impact for their team. You also do have Brittany Sykes. However, I don't, even though Brittany Sykes is putting up a lot of numbers, I don't have her sort of in that sort of top area. I think she's sort of like on the outside looking in, but like really good player, putting up some big numbers. She's third in the league in points per game right now. But overall, I think sometimes she does get a little bit too like, I'm gonna shoot this basketball instead of passing it. And I think for me, that's probably why I don't have her in that sort of top list. Even though she's a walking bucket, I feel like sometimes though she should just pass the ball. But yeah. Anyway, that's why I don't have Brittany Sykes in that other list. So my list is not a just points per game list. It's a impact list. And yes, she's a huge impact player, but I do think at times some of her mistakes does kind of cost her team at times. Even though the only reason they're there is because of her as well. So like that's something to know. Okay. A's, thank you so much for your comment. Says your content is dope, your vibe is cool. The whole WNBA recap at the top of the week is top tier. Keep us updated. Says okay, I'll keep at it. And again, hopefully you all are enjoying this stream. Again, it took a while to kind of go through every single team. And again, did I miss stuff? Yes. Were there some people that you're like, I can't believe you did this recap and you didn't mention so-and-so player? Yes, you're right. Truly, because I think it will take 3 hours. Actually, no. Probably more than that to go through literally every single player and what they're doing and how great players are stepping up and blah blah blah. I try my best to cover as many players as possible, but yeah, it's a tough job and it takes a while to really go through everybody. Row 2 says Quita today has been good content as usual and on point with what is happening with the teams. Thank you. All right. Let's continue on real quick. Actually, should I don't think I have time to even cover this. Darn it. I had a whole thing written out for Kaylee Heckle, but I don't think I have time. Just real quick, Paige Beckers is back. She's back with the squad. And we'll see how she's back. She's back in Connecticut with her squad. And she talked to members of the press, I believe, yesterday, and just like talking about her time in Connecticut and how much she loves Connecticut and how she kind of sees it as kind of like her second home, and she's excited for the game that is happening today. I will be watching this game. We'll see who's going to get the dub. Is it going to be Connecticut? Is it going to be Dallas? That should be really, really fun to watch. And guys, we are basically out of time. And I do have to go to work. And somebody in the chat was like, "Oh, time for Quita to say she got to go to work." I do. I know. I do. Once again, I suck at like time like appropriation, trying to figure that stuff out. Anyway, today we do have a whole slate of games and some games that are happening at the same time. We do have the Dallas Wings versus the Connecticut Sun that is happening at 7 p.m. Central Time. We also have the Golden State Valkyries against the New York Liberty as well. That's also happening at 7. We have the Seattle Storm versus the Minnesota Lynx happening at 8. We have the Atlanta Dream versus the LA Sparks happening at 10. And then we also have the Sky versus the Mercury also happening at 10. Guys, those are the games that are happening today. Hopefully you all are going to watch those. I will probably be live talking through those games as they happen. Also, guys, there was a topic that I had about a 15-minute script to go through about Kaylee Heckle and about how the rich get richer in UConn. And I am out of time, so I do apologize for that, guys. I will cover Kaylee Heckle tomorrow. I will have that be the top story of the stream tomorrow. So again, I put it in the thumbnail because I was going to talk about it. I was trying to talk about it, but I am out of time. So Kaylee Heckle, I will talk about her tomorrow and talk about what is going on with her and why she made the decision to go to UConn. But anyway, we are about 2 weeks into the WNBA. We've already got a full season of storylines and stuff to talk about. So guys, let me know in the chat what you all thought about the stream, what you all thought about these teams. Who is your early MVP pick? What team has surprised you the most? What rookie are you riding with? And yeah, just make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Love Sports is on the internet talking through women's hoops, and it's a great time. So again, join me here every single day. And the more that we can grow this thing, the more that I can make more investments in this channel. Again, I've made investments with like the backdrop and making changes and getting new lights and getting camera updates and all this other stuff. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because of you, because of people who give super chats, because of people who hit that like button, because of people who subscribe, and people who are members on both Patreon and on YouTube. And again, I appreciate it. I love you guys. I thank you so much for your support of this channel. It truly means a lot. And as you all support this channel, as you all tell other people about it. Please tell other people about it. If y'all could do anything, if y'all like, hey, Quita, how can I support your channel? More than anything, please share this, okay? Share this with people. And be like, hey, you want to know about women's basketball? Hey, subscribe here. Send them a clip. Send them a clip of like your favorite snippet of the show. And be like, hey, check this out. Isn't this cool? Then now go to YouTube. Like, truly, the most impactful thing y'all can do to help this channel out, more than liking, more than subscribing, is to share this video. All right, because the more we can share it, the more we can grow this thing, the more that maybe this could actually be a real career for me. Maybe. That'll be down the line. That'll be when we're way bigger, but like that's a goal eventually. That is a goal eventually. All right, guys, I will see y'all in the next one. Probably I'll see y'all tonight. All right, have a good one. Be productive at work. Be productive at work, at school, whatever y'all doing, be productive. Tell somebody that they matter because they do. And if no one has told you, you matter. You do. And you are important. I'm happy that you are on this earth, guys. I love you. But most importantly, guys, Jesus loves you, guys. I will see y'all in the next one. See y'all later today. All right, bye-bye.